"Houston, we have a problem." It's not a new phrase for those who know space history. But this time, it didn't come from Houston. This time, the trembling voice came from thousands of kilometers away, on the dark side of the moon, where no one could hear it. No one except those on that mission. The transmission lasted only 17 minutes and was officially wiped from public records. Still, someone managed to grab a copy before it disappeared forever. A digital file labeled confidential material, high priority, buried under layers of military encryption. Inside, you can hear something that shouldn't exist. Something human. And that, my friends, is only the beginning. It all started with a USB drive left behind in a coffee shop in Washington, D.C. A waitress found it under a table while cleaning. She thought it was trash, but when it caught the light just right, she decided to keep it. Maybe the owner would come back for it. They never did. A few days later, bored during a slow shift, the waitress plugged the USB into her old laptop. She didn't expect much, maybe vacation photos or boring documents. But when she opened the first file, her skin prickled with goosebumps. It was audio. An unnamed, undocumented sound file. At first, just static, like a corrupted recording. But then, something changed. "What the hell is this?" she muttered, leaning toward the screen. She heard distorted voices, fragments of typical mission control chatter. Then, a laugh. A low, guttural laugh that didn't belong to any NASA-trained astronaut. After that, silence. And finally, a clear, almost whispering voice. "We are here. We've always been here." She yanked the USB out immediately. Her heart was pounding so hard she thought it might burst. She tried to delete the file, but couldn't. It was like the system was locked. Paralyzed with fear, she shut off the computer and tossed the USB into a forgotten drawer. But the weirdness began soon after. The next morning, when she arrived at work, the USB was on her desk, even though she swore she had left it in her bag. That night, she dreamed of the voice. It spoke to her directly, in calm, persuasive tones, like it was trying to earn her trust. When she woke up, she knew she had to do something. She uploaded the file to Reddit with the title, "What NASA Doesn't Want You to Hear." It was taken down in less than an hour. But it was already too late. Someone had downloaded it. And that someone was me. I came across the link thanks to a friend. He told me he'd found it in a conspiracy forum. "It's fake," he claimed, though something in his voice made me doubt him. I downloaded it anyway. It was a cold winter night. My apartment was completely silent, except for the low hum of the refrigerator. I put on my headphones and hit play. The first few seconds were disappointing. Static. White noise. I thought it was just another poorly made hoax. But at second 43, everything changed. A male voice, professional, likely an astronaut, said, "Houston, we're entering the dark side. Everything looks normal so far." It sounded just like any public space transmission. I even recognized some of the technical terms. But then, after a long silence, someone else spoke. This time, it wasn't human. Or at least, it didn't seem human. "Welcome," said the voice. It was deep, resonant, like it came from far, far away. "We've been waiting a long time." The astronaut responded, trying to keep calm. "Who's there? Please repeat." Another silence. Long, unbearable. I imagined those poor guys floating in the void, staring out their windows at the endless, desolate lunar surface. What did they see? What terrified them so badly? Finally, the voice returned. "We are the Guardians. You were never meant to come here." My hand trembled as I paused the audio. A chill ran down my spine. I knew this wasn't a joke. The emotion in their voices was real. The fear was real. I kept listening. The transmission continued, growing more and more unsettling. The astronauts tried to reach Houston, but something was interfering with the signal. One mentioned that the ship's lights were flickering erratically, as if something was tampering with the electrical systems. "There's something outside," one of them whispered. "I think it's watching us." The ship's external camera captured something. Or at least, that's what they claimed. There were no images attached to the file, but you could feel the panic in their words. "It's massive," another astronaut stammered. "It has no defined shape, it's like it's constantly shifting." The mysterious voice returned, this time closer, like it was inside the cabin. "You've come too far," it said. "Your curiosity brought you here, but you cannot stay." One of the astronauts screamed. A high-pitched, blood-curdling scream filled with absolute terror. Then it cut off, like someone had shut off the mic. After that, there was only silence. I started digging. For weeks, I searched everything I could about the mission. I discovered it matched a real expedition, Apollo 19, officially canceled due to budget cuts. But according to rumors, it was never launched because something went terribly wrong during a test run. However, the file suggested otherwise. Apollo 19 did launch. It just never came back. I found leaked classified reports mentioning unexplainable anomalies on the dark side of the moon. Several spacecraft sent their reported sudden technical failures. Some simply vanished. Others blamed solar storms or cosmic radiation, but the file proved there was something more. Something alive. I decided to try something risky. Using specialized software, I enhanced parts of the audio that had been deliberately distorted. What I found chilled me to the bone. Between the voices of the astronauts and the unknown entity, there were fragments, what seemed like coordinates. Specific lunar latitudes and longitudes. Intrigued, I cross-checked them with publicly available satellite maps. The coordinates pointed to a remote region on the moon's dark side, near the Korolev crater. I searched for images taken by Chinese and Indian lunar probes. What I saw left me speechless. There were structures. Perfect geometric shapes, like towers or monoliths, rising from the lunar surface. They weren't natural. Someone, or something, built them. As I kept digging, I started receiving strange messages. Anonymous emails telling me to stop. That I was playing with fire. I ignored most of them until one made me hesitate. It said, "They know you've seen the file. Stop now." That night, I had a vivid dream. I was walking on the moon's surface, completely alone. I looked up and saw Earth, blue and shining, slowly turning in the black sky. Then I heard the voice. "You should have listened," it whispered. "Now it's too late." I woke up drenched in sweat. My room was freezing, even though the thermostat said 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I turned on all the lights and checked my phone. There was a new email, sent at 3:17 a.m. Attached was a video. I opened it with trembling hands. It was security footage of my own apartment. It showed me asleep at my computer. In the lower right corner, a dark figure slowly moved toward me. I stopped the video. The message said, "They are here. I don't know what's going to happen next. Maybe you'll be the next one to find the file. Maybe you already have. If so, be careful. Whatever is on the moon's dark side doesn't want to be seen. But it's too late now. We know. And that, my friends, might be our biggest mistake.